Good morning. I muted the my audio and then I forgot that I did that. But it's fine. We're here. Good morning. Happy Monday. Today I am this is really nice to only do this once a week actually. I'm glad that we made this decision because I did my 2 lessons early last week. So first of all, that lets people watch. The only person that came and watched my Algebra 1 stream was an Algebra 2 kid, but it's fine. I'm not mad about it. Hopefully they saw it early or whatever. And then I'm hoping that that'll pick up a little bit and I'll get more kids watching. And then I confused poor Maya with my early lesson because it sounded like I was doing that lesson live, but I have to do it the week following because my lessons are due Monday. So if I do it late, it won't work. So we're just doing it. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Maya. Good morning, Lauren. Oh, hola. I like it. So we're going to do that this week again. So Wednesday I'll live stream Algebra 2, and then Friday I'll live stream Algebra 1 for next week. So hopefully that makes sense. Today we're talking about buying a house. And this is the secret. It's because I'm actually in the process of buying a house right now, and I understand way more than I did when I tried teaching you this earlier. And so we're actually going to walk through the process. So, surprise! I found a really cute condo in Mount Vernon, like 5 minutes from the school. Super cute. So I'm excited. So I'm going to share my wisdom with you as I'm in the middle of buying a house, because I think personally the people who are best to teach something is the people who didn't know anything until recently, because then they remember things. They remember how it was to not understand things, and it's not so far in that they're like, oh yeah, obviously this happens. So we're gonna walk through it together. So I found 11 steps to buying a house. Oh, I think it was from NerdWallet. Yeah, so NerdWallet walked through the 11 steps to buying a house, so we're going to walk through all 11 of them. And I know it's super early. I'm 30, and I'm learning this stuff now. I'm not expecting you to go out tomorrow, but there is a lot of stuff that I wish I knew before I started looking that would have helped me. So I'm here to help you once you get started looking. That's my goal today. Like saving money. And then I think next week we should really talk about budgeting, because it keeps coming up, and I feel like I kind of touched on it, but I'm sure it wasn't enough. And then I might also need to talk about how to rent a place, because we talked about finding a rental, but we didn't talk about the whole process of getting the rental and moving in and stuff. So I'm so glad I'm only doing this once a week, because that's 2 weeks after this one that I can actually talk about, instead of just filling out this week and then being done. Also, mug today is from one of my students. It says, can't touch this. I think it's reversed in the stream, so I like that. And then earrings today, might as well, right? Also, thank you to my cat for this little wonder. Scratch my face up. Earrings are from Transistor Sisters, who were at the Tulip Street Fair a few years ago, and at NerdCon, Nerd Geek. I don't remember what it's called. Nerd Fair. So that was, I don't know, I feel like I'm modeling because I'm live. Plus, I keep listening to My Favorite Murder, and I listened to all their non-live episodes, and now I'm going back through and listening to the live ones. And they do stuff like that. Like, look at my dress, it has pockets, and it's a podcast, so I can't see it. Alright. Let's jump right in. I know there's 2 people watching, but only 2 have checked in, so good morning to whoever else is here. I like saying good morning to you on YouTube. You're YouTube famous like me. Okay, so here are the 11 steps from NerdWallet, who I'm getting to like more and more, nerdwallet.com. Every time I look up something, they have a really good article on it. So this is their 11 steps. So first, we need to decide whether you're ready to buy a home. Most people rent. And renting's normal. You'll know you're ready to buy a home when you're starting to like upgrade your house. So if you're looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom, It's really cheaper just to buy a house if you're looking for that much. Because they're like, I want a 2 to 3, I see it on Facebook groups. I'm looking for a 2 to 3 bedroom house with a big yard, and my max budget's $3,000 a month. You can get a nice house for $3,000 a month. Because the thing is, the person who's renting you the house had to pay a certain amount for it, and then they charge you just a little bit more so that way they can pay for all the other stuff too, like maintenance. So if you're looking for a house and you are looking for a certain amount, you might want to think about buying. The reason people don't buy usually is because it costs money to get into a house. But that's something that, because you know ahead of time, because I'm telling you, you can actually start saving money. That's the goal. The thing you want to be careful of when buying a house is the extra cost that comes with it. So when you're renting, you are not in charge of things like maintenance. If your washer breaks, it's your landlord's job. They fix it. In a house, that's your job. So that would be a reason why you might want to keep renting. So that's how you know you're ready, is if you're prepared for the home maintenance and extra stuff that comes along with owning a house, and you're looking for something a little bigger than what you're in. If you just need a 1-bedroom, there's not a lot of houses that are just 1-bedroom that I found personally. So keep a lookout. 2, determine how much house you can afford. I started making this whole like chart and this math problem, but there's calculators out there already. So here's one that I found. All I searched for was like how much of the house is the mortgage interest rate or whatever, and this came up, but I'm sure whatever you search for, it'll pop up the same thing. So this one has a certain mortgage amount. This is $10,000 at 3.92% for 30 years. The thing is, this much will change. There are houses out there for $100,000. Around here, I'd say they're probably $2,500 instead. Whoa, $250,000. You guys, I can do math. And then this is 30 years. So what these numbers say is that this is how much the house is. This is your interest rate. I got a crazy low interest rate because of the economy right now. So I'm actually at 3.25, but that's probably not going to happen. So let's keep the 3.95. But the 30-year mortgage is really common. And what this is saying is that at this rate, my monthly payments just on my mortgage is $1,186. That's a good rental. And then here's the fun part, is that the interest on a house really bumps up the price. So this is how much the house is worth, but over time I'm ending up paying almost double that amount just for the interest rate. And we'll talk about how to fix that in a little bit. But this is the total cost of the mortgage after 30 years. I've paid $427,000 for a house that's actually $250,000 because of the interest. That would be one reason that you don't want to buy a house. But the other option is to keep paying money for a rental that you don't get anything back from. You're just giving money to live. So there's also kind of the opposite way around. Like, let's say that I want my monthly payments to be $1,200 a month for the mortgage only. Well, then at this interest rate with this mortgage loan, this is how much of a house I can afford. Now, what I usually do is I say, okay, my current rental is $975. At this interest rate for that many years, I could be buying a house that's $205,000. Do I want to do that? Maybe. So yeah, it's usually what I do is I say, okay, if I'm already paying this much for a house, how much house can I afford? Now, here's the thing. There's more to buying a house than just the house itself. So this is the mortgage payment, is the big blue circle. That's most of how much you're paying for. But there's other, and these are averages for the other section. So on average, If the mortgage is 95% of how much you pay a month, you pay 2.2% on your utilities. That's water, sewer, garbage. Um, that's your electricity bill. You pay 0.7% in insurance, an average of 0.6% in HOA. Because I'm in a condo, I do have an HOA in this new place. So what that means is that you as a person own one section of a home, and then everybody else owns their own section. So a homeowners association takes all of that and says, okay, if there's something wrong with the roof or the siding, that's all of our job. So let's just put a little money into a pot, and then if we need to fix the roof, we'll use that to do it. So this is from rocketmortgage.com. That's where they got all these percentages from, and it really does vary. So like your taxes on your house are going to vary depending on where you live. Your utilities are going to vary depending on who you are, how much electricity you use. So I would just be careful, because if I say I want to pay $1,200 a month for a house, that's just the blue circle that they're going to calculate for me. I have to also include the little green slice, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if I'm talking about $1,200, that turns into quite a bit over time. So all I'm saying is keep in mind for your utilities and stuff. What I told my mortgage lender, which we're going to get to in a second, was that I wanted to pay $1,200 total, including all of this stuff. So then she started calculating for me what that looks like, depending on each house it is. And it's a little bit more than that because of the stupid HOA. But I think it's worth it. I've gotten used to the idea. Okay. So this is just your prequel stuff. Your mortgage lender will tell you exactly how much house you can afford based on your GPA is the wrong word. That's the high school version. Based on your credit score. So you can say things like, hey, I want to pay this much, or hey, I don't want to pay more than this, and that kind of stuff. And then you only look at those houses. Because if you start looking at the cooler houses, you're going to want the cooler houses. It's not good. Okay, next. Step 3. Save. Save your money. You don't want to find the perfect house and not have the money for it. That really sucks. So here's just an estimate. You'll never know until you get there. But most home buying programs require 5% down for the house. So if it's a $200,000 house, you want to save $10,000 for the down deposit. It's probably not going to be more than that. It could be less though. So there's programs out there that require 3% down. There's some programs out there that give you 0% down, but those are usually ones that are houses that nobody else wants. So why would you want them? No, it's fine. If you qualify for a 0 down program, and based on your income and your location, and you find a house that you like that also qualifies for that 0 down program, perfect. Rural areas like Mount Vernon are going to have these kind of programs because they want to feed or they want to build the economy in a town like ours. So there's options out there. My cat's about to meow. He's good. Okay. Also, closing costs are about 2 to 5% on average. So for that same house, you also need to save $4,000 to $10,000. Okay. So you're really looking at a maximum of $20,000 to buy a house in your savings account. That's a lot. I know that's a lot. That's why I wish I knew this earlier, because every time I have like a good $1,000 in my savings account, I'm like, let's go on vacation. And then I go on vacation somewhere. And if I had been saving, then I wouldn't, or if I had known I was supposed to be saving, I wouldn't have done that. My house is about this price, but I qualified for 3% down, and my the seller is paying the closing costs, most of them, which means that I have a little bit of extra savings to fix things that I find wrong in the house. And we're going to talk about that next. Maybe next. No, not next. It's not right away yet. But you really do want to be saving money. And this is a lot of money to save. I know. But it's not always this much. So I saved $7,000 and then somebody's giving me 10,000. So I got 17,000 total, which is right in this range. But I'm only using about 9,000 of it. Okay, so I have quite a bit left to fix things, which is pretty cool. Because I kind of want to fix things before I move in. All right. I'm going to transition this, but I have to back it up to number 4. Okay, there we go. Okay, 4, get pre-approved. So once you save your money or save enough of it that you can tell them that you're getting closer, you find a mortgage lender or a mortgage broker. Doesn't matter. And what you're doing is you're saying, hey, will you please help me buy a house? And they say, maybe. And what usually happens is that you show them you're capable of paying. That's called credit. You show them you're capable of putting the down payment down. That's the last slide. I don't know where that is. And then they say, hey, yeah, we'll totally help you. And they can qualify you for certain percentages. And they basically are like, yeah, we'll buy this house. You pay us back over 30 years, and then it's yours. And you're like, cool. So it's kind of like they become your landlord, but you do all the work. It's a weird system. I found finding a mortgage broker actually pretty easy, and I might be one of the lucky ones because my aunt's a realtor, and she's like, hey, I really like these people. They do this great job. Also, they know your sister. So one of the people that works for this place went to high school with my sister, who went to a different high school than I did. And so we talked on the phone, and we have a lot in common. I was like, oh my gosh, I think you're my friend now. So we're friends on Facebook. But that might not be the case. So you do kind of want to shop around and see who you get along with well, who's on your team, who is genuinely excited for you. Those are all important things when you're buying a house. I just want to see the whole thing. Okay, we're good. So that's how you get pre-approved for a mortgage. And the reason you want to get pre-approved is because you want to know what they think you can afford. You want to know kind of what percentage you're at, so that way when you do the mortgage calculator, like, where'd it go? Like this one, you can use the actual percentage that you have. I don't know where this is on the screen. The actual percentage that you have, and then you can actually figure out some other stuff. And you want to know how much they think you can afford. And once you get pre-approved, then you can get a pre-approval letter. And then once you want to buy a house, you can say, I've already got this part down. So the seller doesn't have to wait for you to get a mortgage. You just have it already. All right, next. 5, find the right real estate agent for you. I did these both kind of at the same time. And I do love my aunt. I don't know if she's the right real estate agent for me, but she's doing a great job. Part of the problem is that she's family, but also part of the benefit is that she's family, right? So it's half and half. So a good real estate agent or a good realtor, which are not interchangeable, by the way. Not every real estate agent is a realtor. They have to go get like certification for that. So it's like not every educator is a teacher, but every teacher is an educator. I don't know if that made any sense. So find the right real estate agent. The right real estate agent will be super excited for you. They won't go out of your price range. Once you say something and they start showing you other houses, you're like, oh no, I really need this to be in my price range. And they get excited for you. Okay. They're on your team. Find a team. Okay, now here's the fun part. Look for houses. Sometimes you start doing this ahead of time just to kind of get a feel for what amount of house you're looking at in the area, but you really start buckling down in house hunting. So there's basically 2 options. There's once you look at a house online or driving around a neighborhood that you like, if there's an open house, you can just go. You don't need to have a realtor there or a real estate agent there to see it. They just have the open door and you walk around and you talk to the seller's real estate agent, who's the one listing the house, and you say, okay, cool. Don't tell them what you're looking at, spending, they can use all that against you. So they're just a person that's there and you don't really don't tell them the secrets. Or if there's no open house or you want to look at it before an open house, that's when you grab your realtor, because they have a really cool, like, so every house that's for sale has like this lockbox, and then the realtors know the password, and they can get into the lockbox and get the key out and show you the house. And they also get some insider information because on the MLS, which is the multiple listing service, I think they have a whole section just for the real estate agents that says like, hey, this is this and this is this, so they can look up more information than you can. And they can tell you if it's worth it looking at. Also, realtors have been doing this for a long time, and so they will say like, hey, I noticed this foundation's cracked. That's probably a bad thing. Maybe don't look at this house. All right. Make an offer. Once you find a house, you say, hey, I want this house. You don't make the offer. You tell your real estate agent that you want to make an offer. And then they have all this paperwork that they create. They send it to you. You sign it. And then they send it to the other real estate agent, the one that's listing the house. It is possible for the real estate agent that's showing you the house and the real estate agent that's selling the house to be the same person, but it's really frowned upon because there's a conflict of interest, so be careful with that. Then, I don't know if this is on a thing or not. No. This can be a back and forth over a little bit of time, because if you're like, hey, can you pay my closing costs, or can we decrease the price of the house a little bit, and the the seller's like, nope, I have gotten offers above this price. Do you want to up your offer? I'm not okay pleasing the closing costs. They might refuse to do an inspection, and you want to walk away from those. Because if they refuse to do an inspection, that's because they know something's wrong with the house that they don't want you to know before you buy it. Careful. That's step 8, is to get an inspection. So eventually you and the seller are going to come to an agreement. You say, hey, cool, that sounds good to me. Hey, that sounds good to me too. And then you finalize those paperwork. Everything starts like, this is where I didn't know this all happened. All these paperworks come to you and you sign them online. Like you click the boxes and you say, yeah, I signed this. Read those boxes. It's things like what you get with the house or what doesn't come with the house. It's things like anything that they know is wrong with the house. It's a bunch of paperwork that you really do need to read. If you can't understand them, ask your realtor to read it to you. They'll walk you through it. They know what's in there. And then this is where the lender sends the paperwork that says, yeah, they're pre-approved. We're good. And then step 8, we get a home inspection and appraisal. So the home inspection is where somebody comes out who is trained, and they walk through every single thing that could be a problem in the house. They have all these special tools. There's one that like they point at an outlet and they'll tell you if it's reversed polarity, which means that somebody plugged in the things wrong and that really needs to get looked at. They'll tell you if there's water damage. They'll tell you if there's dryer problems. Mine went up into the attic and said that everything was connected, which was really creepy. Like there's no separation between the units in the attic. They'll just find everything, all the loose wires, everything that you didn't think about, they'll point out to you. And they'll send you a report, and they'll say, these are the 7 things that we absolutely need to change before you move in, basically. And it's your decision whether you ask the seller to fix it themselves before moving forward, just saying, I need this to be fixed. Your other options are to ignore the problem and fix it yourself later, or to walk away. If you're like, they're not going to fix it, I'm not going to have the money to fix it, I just have to leave. This is too much work for me to be a first-time homeowner. That's the kind of house that a fixer-upper DIYer will come and fix for you. They'll buy it and they'll rent it out to somebody else for a little bit more. So it really does depend on your comfort level. So doing stuff in your apartment with your landlord's permission can help actually with your, it helped me with my comfort level with fixing things. Yesterday, I fixed my outlet because my plug-in fireplace burned. It melted the plug and it burnt the outlet, and I didn't even notice. Like, it was only because I moved it away from the wall that I noticed the problem. Could have burned my apartment down. But, so yesterday I replaced the outlets, which was really cool because I got to kind of see how it works. And I feel more confident now, which is pretty cool. Okay, that's the home inspection. Once you send the paperwork over that says, hey, cool, I'm okay with this, or hey, will you please fix this, then the lenders send an appraiser out. And you pay for all of this, of course. The home inspection for my little condo was $385. The appraisal's paid for as part of the closing cost thing. So they send an appraiser out, and the appraiser comes out and says, for the sake of the mortgage company who's giving you the money to pay for this house, they'll say things like, yeah, you might be okay with this, but we're not. Or this is a really bad deal with this issue happening. So they might force, or they might ask the seller to take care of something before closing. So home inspections for you. After you say okay or nay, then the lenders send an appraiser out to check on it. Okay, now it's going to get kind of shaky as I haven't done these parts yet. I've gotten to here. This is happening this week sometime. So I'm right here in these steps. Let's see what happens next. Oh, we did this already. So this is where you say, hey, will you fix this thing? Now, if there is a problem that you want them to fix, you have to make sure it's not something that they can just patch over and call it good. For instance, if there's some sort of mold problem, if you say, hey, I want this fixed, what they could do is they could just cut out the mold part, patch it up, and then it looks like they fixed the problem, even though a little bit down the line you'll get mold there again. So you have to be kind of careful. Alright, then we do a final walkthrough. So I'm going to say, let's say that there's something that needs to be fixed, or some junk that they haven't picked out yet, like a pile of trash. Then we do a final walkthrough and say, okay, this is enough for me to move into. Good job. You're not going to leave your junk here. Unless they are. And then we close. So I don't know how this looks yet, but I think everybody sits down together and signs all the paperwork. And there's a closer involved. And this is where I'm not sure because I haven't done it yet again. But in this specific time, it might be a Zoom meeting. It might be paperwork that is signed online, or what they called wet signed. So I had to print it off and sign it with my pen and then ship it off to them. And by ship, I mean scan and send email. So that was interesting, wet signed. And then move in and stuff. Fix all the things, paint the house, pack your stuff. Actually, I've started packing a little bit because I need to be ready when all this happens. Paint, new flooring if you want it. It's always easier. It's easier to make new things happen before you move in, but also it's harder because you don't have the money anymore because you spend it all on the house. So we'll see. But all I want you to know from this is that, one, save your money. Really, like, this is, save it when you get it so you don't have to worry about it, and build up your credit. Because the lower your credit is, the higher your percentage is, and the more you're paying every month for the same amount of house as somebody else. So those are the steps right now. And then I also want you to know that this will be here forever. So when you do turn 30 and you feel like you want a house, you can come back and look at this. It'll be here. If it's on YouTube, it's on YouTube forever, right? So it's here. This was mostly me just talking at you. Do you have any questions? There's none in the chat right now, but I'm here. Also, thank you for sticking this out, because I had like 30 kids in the beginning of this, and then school started again, and y'all left, and I still got you 3. So, solidarity. Also, one of the options that somebody sent me was how to make some basic food. And so last time when I was in the kitchen, right after that I made French toast, so I just recorded myself making French toast. So I might make like a compilation video of cooking, even though I'm not a trained chef. Um, I just know how to make some food sometimes. So we'll see what happens there. My cat's being weird. And a jerk, I showed you this. He just like came at me because he was grumpy. For no reason. I'm gonna play. Hey, I'm back. My thing froze, and then when I closed it, it started again. And yes, Rocket's grumpy. I didn't realize that my snack was visible. Oops. Today's episode's brought to you from nobody's. I'm doing this on my own time. But Harvest Snap crisps are the best. Harvest Snaps green pea snack crisps. That's what it's brought to you by. Yeah, Rocket's grumpy. And then during that weird break when my internet went out, he just like ran up and then ran away again. Oh, my cat. I feel short. Gonna be sitting up for this. Okay. And it's hard to know what the questions are because you're not doing it yet. So, you know, years down the line when you're in this spot, message me. Send me a question on this stream. By the way, there's some people who aren't watching this live. And keep like, great content, I loved it. It was Algebra 1, you didn't love this. If you're not in Algebra 1, you're not watching this thing. But I'm getting random spam YouTube mail, so I'm getting pretty cool. Did you hear that? He just ran through the house. I'm excited that you have a kitty named Palmer and you love him. Yeah, he's all kinds of riled up today. Also, maybe they are watching because I have one extra viewer that I don't know. It only tells me how many are here. And then if you chat, I know who you are. And I had a fourth person at one point, and then and then my stream shut off. So, oh my gosh, Maya. So, you guys, I teach all the math in my heart. At Mount Vernon, I only teach 3 math, but Maya asked me for help with geometry, and I was excited to do it. So you're welcome, Maya. I'm glad to help. Get it. He's so weird. Yeah, I love doing that. Hopefully, maybe next year I'll teach geometry. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be okay with that. I don't know what I would give up for that, though, because I don't want to teach 4 classes. What would be really cool is if I taught algebra 1 year and then geometry the next year, and then algebra again and then geometry again. That way, like, I get those kids for 2 years. That'd be pretty cool. Alright. To be honest, Maya, me too. Geometry makes more sense now than it did when I was actually taking geometry. What are you doing? That's a mood. He just dropped something, I don't know what's over there. Lauren, I would love to teach pre-calc. I don't think I can, though, I have to be, we're trying to get you credit for college. Did I tell you this already? I think I did. We're trying to get you credit for college. But I would love to teach pre-calc. That'd be pretty cool. I kind of, just come by, though. Come ask me questions. I'll teach you the pre-calc. We'll have office hours in real life. A pre-calc time. Or like a study hall. But I don't actually have that option right now. I don't know what chat rate of 2 means. YouTube's teaching me different things. Maybe it's because 2 people are chatting. Maybe that's it. Hi! Come on. Okay. Okay, bye, cat. I don't know what he's doing. Alright. I think that might be it for teaching you about buying a house. And maybe I'll add some more later. Yeah, he would be the best boy if he didn't attack me. Lauren says hi. Polly Maya too. Yeah, he's already gone. She says bye too. Alright. Ladies, mostly. Friends with and without gender. I hope you have a beautiful day and a great week. And I'll see you on Wednesday for Algebra 2 Live. And we're streaming next week's lesson a little early. Because it's still due Monday. I wish it wasn't. Alright. Have a great day. Bye. And let's collect knowledge, like Corvids collect shiny things.